Hey everybody, I just want to really get this message out to everybody. All the love and all the support that has been given to my dad on the first video that I uploaded explaining about what's going on and how I'm feeling and how the situation is being handled. And I just want to thank everybody who reached out and said kind words, and I also really want to thank the LA Beast for helping spread the word of what I'm dealing with, especially what my dad is dealing with. It's such a heavy situation. The gravity of it's so immense, but it can be overcome easily. It can be overcome. Love cures all. So I just want to really tell all of you again, thank you so much for all the kind words. Just that alone helps. So thank you very much all for just listening to me talk and get things off my mind. Some days you may find yourself in a situation that could be really anything. But the key to accomplishing that and conquering is strength. You have to be strong. And I know some days you might find yourself in a really tough situation, an unwelcome scenario. And all you really can do is stay strong. Or if it's someone else dealing with something that's horrific, be strong for them. With enough strength, you can overcome anything. Strength is what moves the world. It's what gets us up out of bed and gets us to work. Strength is what builds bonds. Strength is what creates new visions. Sometimes your life changes forever, and you have to be strong for that. Be strong for yourself. You have to really just tighten up your shoelaces and just go right for it. My dad tells me sometimes you just gotta go for things because life's too short. You'll never know. Sometimes fear cripples you and anxiety or stress. But if you stay strong through all those, you come out a different person. And not for the bad, but for the better. Once you start comprehending the gravity of the situation, like in my case, for example, you just have to have hope. Never let go of hope. Keep yourself strong. Keep yourself focused. And you just got to do what you have to do. Some days might be easier than others. Some days might be harder than others. But if you can get through the day, mission complete. My dad told me growing up so many times not to worry about yesterday, not to worry about tomorrow. Worry about today, the here and now. Take care of things, and when tomorrow comes, then deal with it. And I tried living by that for pretty much my whole life. Sometimes it's hard not to overthink and to dwell on the past and, as my dad puts it, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Should have done this, should have done that. That's that's in the past. You can't go back and change that. As much as you would love to, I would love to. But that's not how reality works. That's the cold part of reality. It's the part of reality that you're not a big fan of. But that's just the way of life. Things change. Life is a constant change. Nothing changes, but everything does change, if you know what I mean. If you understand. Because the change has always been there. It's been in you, your world, your life, everyone around you, your workplace, your loved ones, your friends. Everything around you changes. Every second. And all you can do is roll with it. Unless you have some superpower that I'm not aware of, which if you do, let me in on it, because I would love to go back and change things and to spend more time and to do things different than what I did do. And you just have to just make the best of your day. My dad told me that. That's all you can do. Some days you'll find yourself in a tough coinkadink, and you can only do so much. You can only do so much, and having people around you that support you and will listen to you and let you get things off of your mind. It's just, no, a lot of things have transpired over the past week, and it's nothing I would ever want to be told. I don't think anybody would ever want to actually be like, I wonder what this would be like. You don't want to know. You just don't want to. And if you've gone through what I'm going through, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to someone. Someone commented on the video about my dad, and they wrote out this whole story. It's been over 20 years, and they lost both their parents to cancer. And I don't know why. Cancer has to be a thing. Why? It's like you can really just do anything, and yeah, you got to be careful. So, best thing I could tell anyone is, if you're ever feeling any discomfort or anything that seems odd or out of place, and it's just Like, go to the doctors. Go to the doctors. Go have it looked at. Um, take care of your bodies. Be mindful of what you're putting into your bodies, what you're doing with your bodies, and just listen to it. If something you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, this isn't something feels out of place, something doesn't feel right. Don't wait. Back in 2000, 2019, 2020, around that time, um, I was having health problems. And there was a big gap where I didn't upload anything that was just didn't really do a lot of videos. I wasn't feeling good and I was working a lot. And started having really bad stomach pains. My chest was hurting. I couldn't breathe, and it made me worry. Just actually remember I was telling my dad. I was telling him. He told me it's like it's a good thing that you went to the doctors just to make sure everything was okay, because I went to so many doctors. Went to one, the first one, and they told me I had acute bronchitis. Don't know how I would have gotten that. They were telling me I had like some buildup in my bronchial tubes. So I went to some more doctors, stress tests, um, x-rays, blood work, bunch of different tests. They told me I was perfectly healthy. And I looked at them and I just really wanted to tell them, like, Doc, I don't feel good. Something doesn't feel right. And it just got worse and worse. And I just remember, like, I felt it, like, all in my chest and my stomach and, like, my guts. And, like, I kept having really bad, like, acid problems. I went to the doctor. I went to one last doctor. I went to Instacare. And it blew me away when the doctor had to tell me. He told me I had severe acid reflux. And I was like, holy shit. I didn't know it could get that bad. So I got a prescription of some omeprazole. He told me to take it. I was supposed to take it, and then I brought up the question to him about what the first doctor said about my bronchial tubes. And the answer I got was kind of scary, because I didn't know that it could be this bad. The stomach acid was burning my essentially my airways, and that honestly scared the shit out of me. So you wanna know what I did? I made sure I didn't eat anything spicy, anything acidic. I was beyond careful. I was taking my omeprazole. So I was like, great. So it's like I was getting stomach acid into places that definitely it should not be. I made sure I took care of it, and after a while, it started feeling better. And I get this news, and Acid reflux pretty much was the main enemy of all this happening. I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't know that esophagus cancer was a thing that existed. No idea. So I made a promise to my dad that I would take omeprazole every day, and I have since the morning I found out about all this. Moral of the story is you have to take care of your body. Be careful with what you eat, careful with what you put in, because you think about this, everything you go in with your mouth with, it travels right down. Think about it, it's like, oh yeah, put it in my mouth, it goes out my throat and into my stomach. It has to pass down your esophagus. All that food and all that drink all goes down. Take a drag off of a smoke, that goes in there. Anything, it passes through your esophagus. And if you have really bad acid reflux problems, one thing I could recommend for you to do is to go have an endoscopy done. Because I know I'm going to go have one done. I want to make sure that from years ago and the most recent years that I don't have any issues going on. Sometimes you can't feel it. But you knew, like, oh yeah, I've got acid coming up, and it's not supposed to. It's supposed to stay in your stomach. It's not supposed to go up and burn and destroy your organs. So just to all my viewers, take care of yourself. Take care of your body. Be mindful of what you eat and what you drink, and try to go to the doctors for a checkup once or twice a year, just to have everything looked at. Because sometimes you never know. You never know if there's something serious going on. Like, wake up in the mornings and it's like, oh, my stomach's killing me. Take a couple Tums and you'll think you'll be better. It could be something worse. You never know. So just, again, take care of yourselves and be healthy. And if there's people around you that you really love, tell them how much you love them. Tell them how important they are to you, and because you never know when they're gonna go. Life is such a sporadic and random series of events that who knows what will happen an hour from now, a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, a second. So thank you so much for listening. Again, I appreciate all the support that has been going towards my dad, my family, and me. Because this is something I would never wish this on anyone. The way that this feels, knowing that your world has changed in ways that you can't comprehend. Actually, that person has always been there, and then at some point, they're gone, and you don't get to interact with them. You call them, they'll never call you back. You text them, you message them, you write them. They're gone. They're here though, but they're not here in the sense that you and I are. So just be careful, be safe, take care of yourself, and do a lot of loving. Because life is too short to be angry and frustrated and all the negatives of life that chew you up and destroy you and ruin who you are. Don't ever let anything change you into something that you're not in such a negative aspect. Be strong and be positive and be loving and be caring and be friendly because that's what life's about. You know, the just being alive is something incredible all on its own. Being alive. The human experience. It has its ups and its downs, but it mainly has its ups. It's just you meet all these people throughout life and then they leave. But you have to be strong. You got to be strong for the people that are dealing with the things firsthand. And you got to be strong for yourself. And never forget that. When I'm at work, I see people with their kids and stuff, and they start talking with the customers, and I remind the kids, like, remember to tell these two how much you love them every single day. And the parents smile, and the kids laugh and say that they will, and the parents laugh and they tell me to have a good day and have a good rest of my shift. And just being positive, being nice and being positive to a complete stranger, because you never know what someone is dealing with. You could be walking down the sidewalk, and you walk past someone, that person that walked past you, who knows what they're dealing with? They could be dealing with something really bad, something really rough, something that is just devastating. And you'd never know. People just walk past each other all the time. You never know what you just you you never want to be rude to someone that you don't know, or say something rude to someone you don't know, because you don't know what that person's dealing with. They could be going through something really bad, and the last thing they need to hear is someone being rude or mean. So, just really at the end of it, just you have to be strong and be positive and have the strength and the courage to keep fighting and to keep going forward, because you're not going to accomplish anything living in the past. You never will. You will never learn from what happened in the past. You can learn from what did happen. There's a very defined difference between those two things, that what happened and in learning. It's like, yeah, you can't dwell. You can't dwell in the past. So just do what my dad says and what he's always said to me. This is the best advice I could give anyone: to not worry about yesterday because it's already happened. And don't worry about tomorrow because that hasn't happened yet. Just worry about today. Take care of the day. Get through the day. And then when tomorrow comes around, deal with it. Best advice. Some really good advice that my dad gave me growing up. And again, I try to live by it. I try to live by those set in stone guidelines. As you start worrying about yesterday, anxiety. Start worrying about tomorrow, anxiety. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Why should you feel so defeated and so fearful of it? The next day comes. If you had a rough day, conquer the next day. And in the next, and the next, and the next. Just live life, do good, be healthy, stay strong in all aspects, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Strength is what moves the world. Always has been, always will be. So thank you so much for watching. Just hearing kind words is just such a beautiful thing during these times, and just anything would help. Anything helps. So to end the video, if you still would like to, I can put the GoFundMe thing down at the bottom in the description. Or even just saying something really nice. Just anything. I know that my dad appreciates everything. He loves that people care so much. Maybe that's what the whole point of being human is. For millions of years, we've gone at each other's throats, and that never got us anywhere. But if people could just love and care and understand and heal and listen, this world would be such a better place. Instead of being so fueled of chaos and pain, if love and understanding could just be the norm, everyone would be so much more happier. So thank you so much for listening and watching. And I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for just being so kind. You all have a good night. And as I always say, keep on rocking in the free world.